Mall of America. It's home to world-class shopping, great dining, and amazing attractions and events. And these are our stories, presented by Bloomington, Minnesota Travel and Tourism. Welcome to So Much More. I'm your host today, Jill Renslow, and I'm joined by my colleague and friend, Sarah Dorman. She is our Corporate Social Responsibility Director. So welcome, Sarah.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Great to have you on the show again. And today we're sharing an inspirational story of a female business leader, entrepreneur, and my friend, Alissa Henriksen. Her story ties into an incredible multifaceted event taking place here at Mall of America this coming weekend. And it is free, open to the public, and we're really excited to talk about it because it's something very special and important to Mall of America. So welcome, ladies. We're excited for that. We're like the all-female crew today. We've got the females on the studio, females behind the desk in the production studio. So we are excited today because, like I said, we're going to talk about a special event that's coming up, a special story, and it all ties together around doing good in the community. And Mall of America is very proud of what we're able to accomplish and how we work with our community partners. And first and foremost, our community foundation. And I don't think a lot of people know exactly what our foundation's all about. We recently created this and recognizing that Mall of America is a powerhouse to support the community with all the events that we support, education, information, and fundraising, and to be able to use that muscle to even help become stronger in the community. So Sarah, I would love for you to share the vision and the purpose of our foundation. You lead the foundation as our president. So talk a little bit about the foundation, and then we'll get into the event that we're supporting.
Sounds great. So the Mall of America Community Foundation, we are now on our second year, so still in our infancy stages, but making huge impacts in our community. As you mentioned, Jill, really how Mall of America operates here and how we thrive is really about supporting our community. We know we are only as successful as our neighbors are, and we have 30 plus years of our showing that what we've been doing. So it is fun now to have created this foundation where we can put a little more formality to it. And with that, we have a great board of directors that is diverse from business to community to city leaders, and really looking at what we need to focus on. So initially, we started off with 4 pillars, and we were really excited about those 4 pillars.
We were very advantageous. We wanted to help everybody.
Our eyes a little bit bigger than our stomachs. Like we were ready to go with that. And as we were learning and developing, we realized, it'd be smarter for us just to focus on one pillar at a time. Really try to make that flag move, right? Really make that purpose happen. So as a group together, we decided that we would focus on education for all. We believe that education is not just a privilege, right? It is something that everyone should have access to, and it is a pathway of possibilities for people, and we believe everyone should be able to walk that path. So we've been working with community organizations, schools, teachers, administrators, families, and students to really see how can we help? How can we move that needle? How can we keep the excitement and the love for education there? Teachers need more support now than they ever have, and families need it.
And we saw that with the teachers and the joy that we brought to them when we started doing the Teachers Appreciation event, and that's in the spring every year, that we've been doing it now the last few years. And it's been amazing to bring teachers from across the state of Minnesota to bring their families to enjoy Nickelodeon Universe for free. So being able to say thank you to those teachers, we make it a very special day. They come, and that's one of the efforts we've made with the foundation with this Education for All, because we do want to reach those teachers that are here in the Twin Cities, but also in greater Minnesota. And being able to bring that joy has been very rewarding for us. And when you lead with your heart and doing good, we've seen how much of a change that can make.
I couldn't agree more. And to add on to that, we can't forget about what everyone wants at Teacher Appreciation, those mystery tickets.
That's right.
Yes, we print out thousands of mystery tickets for the teachers to go back and use in their classrooms as incentives or rewards for their students. And every single ticket is valid for something. It could be one ride, a day's ride, free popcorn.
Yeah, the teachers love it.
They do. They love
we
it.
were trying to think of what is our Pizza Hut readathon type of benefit program. And we're like, we're sitting on it. We have Nickelodeon Universe. We have the rides. The kids love it to be able to incentivize them in a variety of different ways, whether it's grades, it's reading fulfillment with the number of pages or whatever that might be. And it's been a great tool for the teachers to use. And now it's a tradition that we've been able to start.
That's really fun.
So Sarah, talk a little bit. So you mentioned the reading components, literacy being our focus right now, education for all. How does that tie into this event that we've got coming up this weekend?
Yeah, so this weekend we have actually 2 events that the general public is invited to. So they're all free, all open to the public. That is one thing we also take great pride in, is trying to reduce any barriers for people to come in and experience the joy, the fun, the memories that we have here at Mall of America. So this coming Saturday, August 9th, the first event is from 8 till 10:30 a.m., and it's called Building a Culture of Reading. And really, we say it's where the reading revolution will start. We have a dynamic panel of authors, both national and local, that are coming in, and they'll be discussing how to foster a culture of reading in your home, in your classroom, talking about the vital role of social emotional learning through children's literature, as well as why diverse inclusion stories matter more now than ever. And finally, just having a real talk on the challenges, right, that people are facing, and then finding solutions for these educators and teachers to approach as we go back to school for 2025. So that's from 8 till 10:30 a.m. on Saturday. And
where is that at, Sarah?
That is actually in a private space at the Mall of America. But how you can find more information is to go to our website. Go to mallofamerica.com/events, and you will see they're building a culture for reading. It is completely free. It is really aimed for parents and teachers. That's not as family friendly as the second event I'm going to get to. But all we ask is for you to RSVP, share it with your friends. All are welcome, and it's going to be a really dynamic conversation.
What's part 2?
Part 2. Here we go. As we move on from that, we're going to go down to our rotunda. So that day then, from 11 a.m. till 4, we have an event called Turning Pages, Changing Lives. And it's truly just an opportunity to come in and celebrate reading and hopefully inspire kids to want to start reading. We are partnering with Minnesota's Picture Book Parade, as well as Way to Grow, a local literacy organization that is a benefiting partner of our foundation. We love them. And PR from the Heart. There'll be over 16 authors, all national and local, with storytelling. There'll be cute seating for kids, face painting for kids. What else? We're doing little make and takes for bookmarks that kids can bring home. And then the authors will also be there to meet any of their fans, sign autographs, sell books, and just have a great day. We really focus on it being I see you. We want representation for everyone. So any child that comes will have the opportunity to see someone like them on that stage. And I'm sure there'll be lots of laughs and lots of joy that will be happening. So for more information on that, again, go to the Mall of America website, mallofamerica.com/events, and look for the Turning Pages, Changing Lives.
Great. Well, I hope we have a fantastic turnout this coming weekend, because it's a great event that I think a lot of families will enjoy. And I'm hearing Alissa over there confirming what you're saying and excited about what's happening. And I would love to shift to your story, because there's a tie in here. As far as you are an amazing, successful entrepreneur, a business leader within this marketplace that I'm so proud of knowing you for so many years and seeing your success. But it wasn't always easy. And so I would love for you to tie it together here and talk a little bit about your story and how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, I just commend what you guys are doing, because the more that we can support kids and even adults, right? It's just so commendable that you guys are doing this. But yeah, I was diagnosed with auditory dyslexia when I was 7. So these are pretty, important years in your life. You're kindergarten, first grade, and you're really trying to find your way and find your friends. And, if you were to ask my mom and dad back then, it was in the late 80s. And the teacher was always reaching out to my mom and saying I was such a distraction in class. And my mom is an educator. She's between my parents. She went off to school and got her degree in education. And she knew something was off with me just based on how I was at home. I was always very frustrated, and she knew that reading wasn't easy. And at that time, there wasn't as much, I would say, available to families and parents as far as resources and tools. But she went in and spoke to the teacher, and the teacher was just really hard. And I was there too. You always had to bring your student in with, and she was just very hard on me. She would say, she's such a distraction. All she wants is attention. She's like, I would give directions, and she would raise her hand and ask what am I supposed to do? And I remember going home, and I would be walking home, and I would just be in tears because I was so, I had so much fear. I had so much confusion because I really didn't understand what was going on. And so auditory dyslexia is a processing disorder. It's like a double whammy. Anything that comes into the brain doesn't know it's not connecting. It doesn't understand, and especially sounds. And so it was very, very confusing. And then as it's coming out, no matter what, even if I didn't have the auditory side, I had the dyslexia, I was writing things backwards. And so it was it was like I was listening to somebody speak another language. Mm-hmm. And so my mom and dad luckily were incredibly, I just had the most supportive parents, but took me to the reading center. And the reading center in Rochester, I was tested, and I won't ever forget my mom, we've talked about this, but he was like, she is going to be dependent on you guys. For, what he was saying, it could be forever. And my mom and dad always believed and would always try to tell me that you can't let anyone define your future. You really have to hold on to those support systems and to really rely on individuals who can help you. But it was an awful road and a scary road, because as you're in the classroom, everyone's going into their classroom and I'm going into another room. Mm-hmm. And I look normal on the outside, but on the inside, it was the complete opposite. So I was just bullied and, really an outsider for the most part. So it was really tough. It was really, really tough. But I was tested. I got proper tutoring. So I would go from school, and I was going and being tutored, and I'll never forget that I finally felt like somebody understood me, mm-hmm. And could help me. And I was had to learn the alphabet. I was writing the alphabet in trays of rice. And we would create songs and music and really help kind of understand and become comfortable with the alphabet, not hate it, but love it, mm-hmm. Because I hated everything about it. So all of that help and special testing was crucial at that time.
There was a long time that you weren't comfortable sharing your story, and I
Correct.
really appreciate you sharing that today, and I applaud your parents for the support that they gave you and connecting you with the resources that you needed to be the successful individual that you are today. But what was it in your life that made you feel okay and know that I can share my story and people will support me, and hopefully that will help others? Was there a turning point?
Yeah. Actually, it was after I started this is not that long ago. It was actually when we probably 8 years in of owning a business. My husband and I own it together. I remember I was asked to get up on and speak in front of a group, one of my very first opportunities. And I was deathly afraid, because as a dyslexic, by the way, you are afraid of public speaking. Mm-hmm. And I was just shaking, and I just thought, this is my chance. And I put it out there, and I don't know why I felt like it was important to share that part of my life. But after I shared that challenge, I had so many women reach out to me and say that their kids are struggling. And 1 in 5 have a learning difference. I think saying difference versus disability mm-hmm. gives you power,
Absolutely.
Right? And so that's when I felt like, okay, I can be okay sharing this, and I'm going to start helping others understand maybe what they can do and where they can go. And, but it's incredibly emotional. And also most go down that state of depression and suicide because they aren't given that proper support. And so I didn't have that, right? I was lucky. Mm-hmm. But I'm grateful I'm grateful for now being able to feel comfortable talking about it and helping others. And then I sat on the board for the International Dyslexia Association Upper Midwest branch. And that's where I felt like I made an even bigger impact, that I could tell my story and help parents and teachers, because teachers aren't fully equipped with how to recognize this early on. So
for both of you, when you look at this event that we're hosting, like what are those key success factors that we look at to really bring literacy forward, to connect with those kids and families that might not have the resources, but to open up the doors of possibility? I mean, what have you experienced with other events we have, or what are you hoping to have when you look forward to Saturday, or you know, when you hear the stories of the different tools that we're bringing forward, where do you find those connections?
Sure. What I'm excited for is the inspiration. First and foremost, some children aren't even exposed to the opportunity for reading, right? As we have been working on this over the last couple of years and partnering with really great organizations like Way to Grow, we've just been learning so much more, right? And how important repetition is. Why are you reading that baby book 100 times to that baby? But it's because then at 2 years old, they're reading that book back to you. So the inspiration of it is very exciting to me. And the hope and inspiring. Also, the multi-generation. So we have been able to have the conversation here before we even started recording, just how important it is for organizations like Way to Grow. Again, they are the one and only organization that goes in-home to help with literacy. And they started out by just focusing on early childhood, 4 and 5 year olds. And now, 15 years into their work, they are at the same time teaching mom and dad and teaching grandpa and grandma who English is not their first language. So being able to share something through multiple generations at one time, I think really can have momentum and change, because we know education is power, right? And when people have that, they feel powerful, they'll do good things, and they'll make that impact. So that's where I look at it.
Yeah, and by the way, the title of that event is, it's just so awesome, because I feel like it's powerful, and I feel like it can connect, especially to kids who understand the meaning of that. And for you guys to have authors there and to have a place of comfort around that, I mean, that's, to me, something you're offering these kids, and then to have some crafts and make it fun, right? Because I think for those, regardless whether or not they have a learning difference, reading can be scary. It can be intimidating, right? And especially as a young kid, if you're sitting next to a friend who's a really good reader, and you know something's off because you're not, but you're in an environment where so many kids are there together. How cool for you guys to be doing this.
Love that. Thanks.
So Alissa, with your demanding professional career, you're learning difference. How do you make it work? What are the keys to figuring it all out, and maybe what you so-called call your superpower?
Yeah. I feel blessed it's going to sound crazy, because I think if you would have asked me when I was younger, I would say, I hate myself. I hate this. Like, I hate being so different. And I wouldn't change any of it because of what it gave me. The ability to not be afraid of a tough challenge, the ability to not be afraid to ask questions. It forced me to have to ask a lot of questions. And now I can be in a room with a board of directors and shareholders and ask really tough questions that I feel like, had I not been put in this position with my learning difference, with auditory dyslexia, I never would have done it. But it's still challenging. Like I said, I still have incredible fear of public speaking. I hate it.
You're an amazing public speaker.
I black out, by the way.
She is an amazing public
It is
speaker.
a total blackout moment. And so my husband will record it, because I will not remember anything that I am saying, because I have so much fear. I won't sleep the night before. I won't eat anything before I get up. And it could be for 5 minutes, and it's just because for somebody who has had PTSD over being put in front of a group of kids, hey, read this sentence, you just have that fear. But it's also just really because of the way that my brain works and how I am taking in information. I'm working double time and retaining it and remembering it and just moving through my day. And especially if I'm in a crowded area and let's say you and I are having a conversation and there's a lot of noise behind, I have to be so hyper-focused and I am drained at the end of the day. So, but it is a superpower. And I think anyone, 1 in 5. And by the way, if your child has it, more than likely somebody in the family has it. And it's okay. And it's okay to admit it. It's okay to feel empowered by knowing that you have a difference, not a disability, and to find your core group to support you and to help lift you up. Because everyone will have it. It might be the teacher. It might be the principal. I had a principal that supported me so much. Of course, your parents. But it will help you be an incredible, adaptable, accepting individual in your future. If you're looking at this today as a child, for sure.
From an audience member that has heard you speak multiple times, you are amazing because you speak from your heart. And I think that, you bring the passion of what you believe in to the stage, and when you and whether you remember it or not, it's always fantastic. And so I would love for you to also share a little bit about Gray Search and Strategy.
Yeah.
So you started this company with your husband, which I think is amazing. You guys are extremely successful. So tell our audience a little bit about what you do every day.
Yeah. I'm super blessed. So 17 years, we just celebrated 17 years in business and marriage.
Congrats.
So when we got married and started our business in the same month. And it's been such an incredible journey and ride. So Gray Search is an executive boutique recruiting company. And so we support businesses all over the U.S., help them build talent acquisition strategies for their team and for their company. And so from mid-level to executive level, we're in the boardroom. We're working with individuals, leaders, and bringing in the right talent. And it's so cool. I wake up every day and I'm so thankful for the opportunity that I'm given to be able to tour manufacturing facilities and office buildings and to get a sense of what these cultures are like, because it's all about that. When you can connect to a culture, you're going to be incredibly successful as an employee. And so what's really cool about Gray, and it's really because of my upbringing and my story, is too often we write people off. We make assumptions way too fast, the black and white of a resume, the black and white of a job description. And we need to dig deeper. We need to challenge all of ourselves, the leaders on our teams, to say, okay, when have we dusted this? Like, this is such an old JD. We need to ask more questions and challenge ourselves more on what are we looking for and where is this person going to take us in the next 3, 5, 10 years? And so that's not happening enough. And we quickly learn that. And so at Gray, we get the opportunity to really help our clients focus on just not being so black and white in that area. It's pretty cool.
I love that. So final words from you, Alissa. What would you say to that young person that has a learning difference, and how would you motivate and inspire them to push forward?
First, you're awesome. You need to know that you're not alone, that you're likely looking across the room and there are many other kids just like you, and you're incredible. I can get emotional about it because I wish I had more of that coming at me when I was younger. Yeah. But they're not alone, and they're incredible. And there are so many great resources and tools out there that weren't there when I was younger. And I think, to know that you're beautiful, you've got so many incredible strengths, and to know that you'll be more than okay. As long as you know that you have to speak up and you have to let those around you know what you're dealing with. And if you can do that, you can get through this and you will be just fine, and you will be whatever you want to be when you grow up. And I say too is to the adult, because we've helped our clients actually diagnose some of their employees with a learning difference. that it is okay to speak up as an adult too, that you're not alone. And find some really cool groups out there. There are amazing, I think for kids, different leadership academy, Empower Academy at Team Women, for example. That's really about supporting young girls. And these are young girls that really need help, but it's even if you have a learning difference. So many resources, but to just know you're awesome, no matter what.
And how do people follow you if they want to watch your story and support you in your efforts, both personally and professionally? Where would they find you?
Yeah. So if you're looking for a really great recruiting partner, definitely reach out, www.grey-search.com.
And it's Grey.
Grey. Yep, a little different. But check us out there. You can reach out to Alissa Henriksen at LinkedIn. For sure, and reach out and ask questions. Any question around just learning disabilities differences, I am here to support you. So,
and Sarah, final words on encouraging families to come out this weekend.
Yeah, we just look forward to having the rotunda full of kids bouncing around and having fun and celebrating wherever they are on their reading journey. Come in. You can, we always say here at the mall, we are the best place to learn and play, right? There's so many opportunities, and we know that's the best way for kids to learn is through play. So we welcome everyone. There's no barrier to come. So head on out, go to mallofamerica.com/events for the event details. And if they want to learn more about our foundation, we have great opportunities to get involved with the Mall of America Community Foundation. That website is moacommunityfoundation.org.
Very cool.
Thank you both for joining us today, telling stories and also encouraging families to come out.
Yes.
And that's going to do it for this episode of So Much More. We're excited for hopefully you come out and visit us this weekend. We would love for you to check out the event and share this episode with others in your families and your circles and friends, your networks, with learning differences or just people that want to engage and participate in this event. We would love to have you. So definitely tune in next time. We love having you with us. And that's going to do it for So Much More. Thanks for listening to So Much More, a Mall of America podcast. Subscribe wherever you find your favorite podcasts. This show is presented by Bloomington, Minnesota Travel and Tourism.